Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Good morning, vlogsters. I thought we can enjoy our first sip of coffee together on this beautiful Sunday morning. I want to put like a warning here that I probably will cry sometime during this. So what I'll do first is I'll bring the dishes over. First I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you who's reached out to me via any social media. I just realized I'm not very loud right now, and it'd be very difficult for you to hear me. I hope that's better. First I wanted to say thank you to all of you who reached out to me with your kind wishes and blessings and prayers, and offers. And your condolences over the past 2 days. So thank you. I want to say thank you. For those of you who've been around since the beginning, I think when I hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, I did a giveaway. Might have been the 5,000. No, it was the 1,000. One or the other. I did a giveaway. There's a playlist on my channel called My Channel, I think it's called. And in there, I have a video that's sort of a meet and greet video. I don't post it as a meet and greet video on my, like a lot of people do when you go to their homepage, because I feel like it's there if you want it type of thing. So, in that video, we talked a little bit about my life before YouTube. It was a lot of life before YouTube because, first of all, I had 40 years of life before YouTube became a thing. But I started my YouTube channel in December of 2016. So I had a lot of life of those 46 years. There was a lot. So I talked a little bit about my it's good to cry, but I want to be able to talk. So, anyway, I talked a little bit about my brother Rob before that. I was 12. I just turned 12. He was born a week after my 12th birthday. My mom thought she might have started early menopause because she was just going to be 40. But she had other health issues, you know. Well, I shouldn't say other health issues. She had some issues, you know, like not terrible. Like she had, actually, I don't know how many of them were there before she was born, before he was born, because I was just 12. But for some reason, she always said she thought she was going through menopause, and then she was pregnant. Funny story, my father's secretary had gotten pregnant at the same time, And then my mom made a joke that, oh, your wife and your girlfriend are pregnant. And then my dad turned and quipped, quick-witted as he is, and my secretary too. So as a joke, like, so one of the things that in my family we've always done to combat grief is to just find the joy. Think of all the good, really good memories. Just to find it, you know? But, and this isn't, even when someone dies suddenly, but at a good old age, or even when they've battled an illness. So my mom, she was fairly young. We've talked about that before. But she had a heart attack, a kind of a big one, about 7 months before she passed away. A little less than 7 months. So that prepared all of our hearts a little bit because, you know, you kind of, so, you know, she's not really doing too good. She didn't really take good hold of her diabetes. She had said at one point, and I don't know if it was just in an emotional moment, she said, I would rather die young and happy, you know, like eating what she wanted, than to, you know, deny herself the things that she enjoyed. So, my brother, actually my both brothers and two of my nephews got into a really bad car accident 2 days before the millennium, or the day before, like the 30th, basically, in 1999. And he was pretty bad. My little brother had taken pretty much the brunt. And he had like rods and, you know, like a pin, like thing in his arm. And he gave us a scare. He was only 17 at the time. He was a senior in high school. Like about halfway through his senior year. He was a fighter, and he struggled, and he made himself better. He graduated and went to college. Didn't graduate from college, but just loved to learn. He was so smart. I feel like it's hard to use that word was. But I'm making myself do it. It's part of what helps with closure, they say. He's so smart. He not only had like a well-learned knowledge of things. He was a computer website designer, computer crazy, like just all these great things that he did. But he just had like a really insightful brain. Talking to my sister yesterday, she said he was really good at compartmentalizing things. Like he had things that he shared with each one of us that the others didn't know. at all. Or forgot or didn't think of, or I'm not sure why. But, so we were talking about what to do for his final arrangements, and because of the COVID pandemic, everybody hates COVID, right? I am extremely angry at COVID because I was supposed to go to New York in June for my reunion / birthday, and I would have seen him. So I haven't seen him in person since 2013. I helped him move into a new apartment. It was the last time I saw him. I just don't know. I mentioned on my little community page, and I didn't put it on my vlog channel because I feel like that there's nobody on the vlog channel that isn't on the main channel. But I don't know if that's true, so. But we haven't spoken since June of 2013 was the last time I heard his voice address me personally or have a conversation with him. Because I've heard his voice, I listened to his old saved voicemails, and anyway, so we are gonna just have one day, but I was gonna fly there, and I have all the doctor's appointments coming because I would have loved to have just stayed there for a while just to heal up or whatever. But Jimmy came home from work yesterday, and he basically said that his new boss said, whatever you need, whatever time you need, we'll work it out. So I just felt like that was a sign that we should just get in the car and go. That, and even last minute prices during this pandemic, like pandemic flights are so cheap, but last minute is even more than I could. Well, I would have had to borrow money, let's put it that way. But driving there is going to be like half the price of what it would have cost just for my plane ticket. So we're going to go. And those of you who are concerned about Mom, she is going to go stay with her family. And we're going to have our house sitter come and stay with the cat. So everybody's watched after. Everybody's looked after. I'm not worried about driving. We are going to stay overnight. We're going to leave tonight when Jimmy comes home from work, and then drive, and then stay over, and then drop off Mom tomorrow, and then head straight to New York and be there probably by tomorrow night sometime. Service is on Tuesday. I don't know when you're going to see this, but yeah. So I realized that my father's funeral, which was 10 years ago, in February, was the last time we were all together. They had a going away dinner for us, and Rob didn't come, which it's okay. He wasn't there for that. So the last time we were all together was It's so unexpected. When my sister Jane called me, she said, "I'm really sorry, but Robert died." And I said, "Robert who?" I was like, "What?" She said, "Your brother Robert." And it was just so surreal. It's still so surreal. He's so young. I said for a long time, like, he wasn't talking to me. And I kept saying, but I just feel bad because when I die, I don't want him to feel guilty. So I would text him and just say different things because we're sarcastic in my family. So sometimes I would text him and call him he was an ass. And then sometimes I would text him that I loved him. And then I forgived him. And then could he forgive me? Or whatever the day was. And they all went like unresponsive. It was hard. It's been hard. I kind of think that in a way, maybe I can find solace in that God maybe put this in front of me, the challenge with him, so that I could maybe have less loss. Like my sisters, they all could say like they just spoke to him. Last Tuesday was my father's birthday, and it's one of those times that we would normally call each other and say, "I'm thinking about you," or whatever. I text him a picture of something. I think that's probably blocked on his phone. But I had to do what I had to do and just keep reaching out. Up until I moved, I was the person that would say, "Did you call your sister for her birthday? Did you call your dad for a birthday?" Like whatever it was, I would remind him. Like I was the person to remind him of his calendar. And I'm grateful that my sister Alicia was here for my birthday because she became that person when I left. And she made him text me happy birthday. So I at least got a happy birthday text in July. And I'll treasure that forever. But it's so the little bit of what happened I'll give you is that from the car accident, and from being working on computers forever, my brother was very prone to. It actually was from the car accident because he was prone to them before he had as much of a sedentary lifestyle, but he was prone to blood clots. He actually had a couple of scares where he just like passed out, and because blood clots had gotten in his lungs. So that happened to him 2 times before. And this time it was bigger. What the medical examiner said was my brother had tested positive for antibodies from the coronavirus. My sister said he had walking pneumonia in February. So they think that might be when he was infected. He lived in New York City, so it was, it was a big hot spot there before anybody knew what to do, sort of. So what the medical examiner said is that and I did hear this about somewhere in one of my many medical TikTok-y things. So it did ring true to me that people who have survived the coronavirus and have the antibodies are shooting off little blood clots themselves. But most people could just reabsorb them. He, because of his history, was not able to. And he actually had what they call a pulmonary embolism, which is basically one in his lung that just took over. So I believe in my heart that it was quick, and I want to believe in my heart that it was painless. I, for the most part, and my sisters may argue about this because they have heard me say before how much it hurt to not have him talk to me anymore. But I didn't tell them as often. I would get to sometimes to a breaking point, or I would hear stories about him, and then it would just surface all the feelings. But it was not a day, because I'm not trying to be dramatic, but there's so much that's here that reminds me of him. Like, I can't pick up my phone. I remember in 2013, actually it was before that. It was big. Trying to remember, we were on a road trip. Yes, hold on, excuse me. Sorry. It was 2012. We went to Las Vegas. He paid for me to go to Las Vegas for my niece's graduation. And he wanted to take me to In-N-Out Burger. So he had brought up his phone. And there's been so many times before that he would be like, pull out his iPhone and show me like cool games and cool things. And this is what it can do and all the things that it can do. But that time he pulled up his little GPS and he said, you really got to get an iPhone. So when I did, before I moved, I had it only for about, 2 months or something. He said, it's about damn time or whatever. So it's hard to like not pick up my phone every time and just think of him. I know that sounds silly, but for those of you who don't know, I kind of skipped around the story that my mom died when I was 21 and he was 9. And when my mom died, I automatically went into mom mode, even though I was just a sister. But at the time, I was the only sister living at home. My sisters had like moved out. My sister Jane was in college, but she was mostly staying in college. She had her senior year of college that she was just getting ready to go back to, because my mother died August 11th, and usually college starts just around there. So I was like into mom mode. He would go over to my sister Alicia's house to just like play video games or, just hang out on the weekends. And I know I was working weekends and that was hard, but I was like, she was the one who never made him like clean up, take a shower, eat whatever he wants kind of thing. And I was like, did you clean your room and have you done your homework? So we definitely had different relationships with all of us for one reason or another. So, but I tried my best. I thought I did. Well, I did my best. I didn't thought I did my best. I did my best. Could I have done more? Maybe. I can see it now in hindsight, but at the time, I just thought about like, what do I need to do now? I know that working the schedules that I worked during some formative years probably wasn't the best idea. But like financially, my mother wasn't alive. So financially, we tried to, you know, I tried to compensate for that. So I tried to be there. I tried to be there as most I could, but getting up and getting ready for school and that kind of thing, I always wanted to make sure that I felt like that was missing when I was growing up. My mother worked nights and she was rarely there in the morning when we got ready for work, for school, or me anyway. My sisters are older, they have a different experience. But anyhow, I didn't have that when I was growing up much. My mother worked nights. I rarely saw her in the morning before I went to school. While I was really young, my nan would be up to make sure we were up for school and stuff. But, you know, we talked before about like never having breakfast, or if we had cereal, we had no milk. If we had milk, we had no cereal. We had peanut butter and jelly, no bread, no peanut butter and jelly. And it wasn't every single day of my entire life, but it was most days. I will say that it was the rarer of the occasions to actually have had breakfast at home and have had lunch packed. If I could pool all of my schooling together. So I just wanted to ensure that that wasn't going to be the same thing with Rob. I wanted to make sure that I was up with him in the morning. I wanted to make sure that he was ready for work. I'm ready for school. He had lunch. He had whatever he had for the day. He had his books. I know I wasn't perfect. I don't know who is, but I did my very best. I missed out on so much. I missed out on so much. When I left, he had started this new relationship with this girl who just seemed wonderful, just perfect for him. And it didn't work out. And I don't know. I mean, I know why now, but I never got to talk to him about why. And when I would ask my sisters questions, because I'd get secondhand information, they don't ask this. I mean, no two people do, but they don't ask the same questions that I would ask. Or they don't advise the same way I would advise. And that's just the nature of the beast. But I have lots to do still before I have to get ready to go. But I just want to say thank you. I think that all your words, your hundreds of messages, hundreds and hundreds of messages, probably thousands at this point, but I'm not counting. I just don't want to exclude anybody. Have really made it more bearable. I won't say bearable, just more bearable. Well, he started to say that I'm not worried about me driving because I'm very focused when I drive. Even if I get even if I get to being sad, I know it won't manifest in tears. Last night we were packing and I was doing is always seems to be better. I actually came in here with my this is like the kind of stuff that goes on in my head. What I do is I I make plans for my DIYs. Normally I do them in my little book, but I had done this while I was out in the living room. What I do is I get inspiration, mostly from catalogs and websites. And then I screen grab the pictures. And then what I do is I plot out like this one thing, and it's like, oh, this is a pizza pan. Like, I'll know I'll do that with a pizza pan. And this is that orange bucket, and I know I'll do that with that orange bucket. So I thought maybe I would have a creative outlet. After speaking to so many of you, how I've helped you through the years get through, your loss or your difficult time or your depression, by just being here and creating, I thought that'd be something that I could do for myself. The big obstacle that I'm having now, and that I have been having for the last few weeks, which I'll tell you is how long. I think I mentioned that I wasn't really sure why I was so sad and I was taking on all these things. But apparently he's been having this difficulty for a few weeks now. And he actually was scheduled to go to the pulmonologist on the day he passed. So, but for 2 weeks he's been having difficulty breathing, and for 2 weeks I've just been like over the moon, like I can't get my control of my emotions. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's just a weird coincidence perhaps, or something. So I've been absent from YouTube because I come here to give you ideas, to inspire you, to bring joy. But when there's little joy in my life, it's hard to put the camera on. I recall in the beginning of this video that I couldn't look at the camera. You know, I just couldn't see myself. I couldn't, I can't focus. Like, even now, it's not even 100%. I can't really look at you guys because I have this thing. So, I love you, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Like, you have no idea. I'm going to film I'm going to film the Bible study every day. I'm going to try, and I'll talk to you guys about that in the next video when I do, or if I do it. I'll see how it goes, because sometimes reading that makes me very emotional too. So we'll see how that goes, like I said. As always, you guys take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye.
So, I'm driving through Missouri. We're about 90 miles outside of Kansas City. And it just dawned on me that all the signs for Missouri have the state on them. Like, do these people not, it's like the only way they can recognize their state is by, like, picture? I understand it's the show me state, but this is kind of crazy.